Oh no. Obviously, right off the bat, there I go. I'm talking and going on and on with I'm just trying to get some of this stuff figured out here. So here we are. Thanks again, everybody, for joining with me here on the Urban Gardener channel for this really fun live stream here. And hopefully you can hear me now. We've got a really fun live stream set up here for all of you here today. We're going to be having a friend of mine come on and join with us to eat one of the hottest peppers in the world, the Primotalii pepper. This is a real scorcher of a pepper. And I just want to kind of get clear and right up front here is that I've been getting some messages from people and different comments about how they're worried for me or don't know about all me being able to eat this sort of thing. And I just want to be clear, I'm not the one. I make no qualms about the facts that I just do not have the guts to do this sort of challenge. But I do have a really good friend who was really kind of, happy and excited about coming onto a live stream and to share with us and eat this pepper and give us a really good pepper review of it. So that's gonna be really fun. We're going to do that here in just a little bit. And so really, again, too, I wanted to be sure that everybody, again, we'll put that up there, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And also, we want to have big shout out to all of you who are watching us on the replay right now too. A lot of people watch these live streams on the replay, and I just want to acknowledge you all and thank you all so much for joining with us when you had the time. And if you can, get down in the comment section below and let us know that you are here, as well as all of you who are joining us live. Get in the chat box, let us know that you're here, let us know what you've got growing on. I'd like to hear about all of that. We'll try to be keeping up with everybody in the chat box and kind of hopefully go along here a little bit later. If you have any questions or if you have anything like that, we'll bring them up and we'll talk about those and everything when we bring Mike on to eat that pepper. And I also, right up front, just kind of get it out of the way as well too, I want to ask you all, if you haven't had a chance to oh, there it is. It's on the bottom. Okay. Have you all come and join with us in our Facebook gardening group, the Let's Get Growing gardening group, because this is a great place for all of you who are out there and have all of your gardens to come and join with us here in the gardening community and to be able to share the different gardens and things that you have. You can share pictures and talk about all the different things that you got. We've got a lot of really cool gardeners in that group. We'd love to see what you've got growing on, as well as share what they've got growing on. And we can all kind of share all the cool things that we've got growing on throughout the season. So again, if you do have any questions or anything like that throughout this live stream, just jump into the comment box there and let us know. So right off the bat here, I want to get in our first guest that we have with us, joining us with today, because we're talking about one of the hottest peppers in the world. We're talking about the Primotalii pepper. Now, I decided to grow this pepper out this last season because I was a part of at the time, which we didn't ultimately finish, but we were looking to be into a growing competition, and one of the categories was hottest pepper, who could grow the hottest pepper. And I knew most everybody out there was going to go after the Carolina Reaper. Everybody was going to grow the Carolina Reaper, so I wanted to get an edge on all of them. And I know that we had the edge because of a lot of the people that I talked to throughout the pepper growing community pointed towards the Primotalii pepper. So I went out to one of my good friends on YouTube to go and get some seeds of this really cool pepper. And this is going to be our first guest today. It's going to be Jim from JP Pepper Seeds. Let's welcome Jim to the live stream here. Hello, Jim. How you doing?
I'm doing awesome. How about you?
Doing great. Thanks, man. It's great to have you here on the show with us here, the live stream that we're doing. We're going to be having one of my friends here in just a little bit after we're done talking here, come onto the live stream here, and he's going to eat and review one of your Primotalii peppers right here live on our live stream. So I thought it would be a good idea to bring the man right here onto our live stream right now who's responsible for doing the real hard work when it comes to taking care of and making sure that those of us who are outgrowing peppers each year are guaranteed to be growing the peppers that we want to grow. So Jim, thanks again for joining us here on the Urban Gardener live stream. So could you tell us just a little bit about the Primotalii pepper?
Sure. I happen to actually have one here with me. It's not the perfect tail. It's end of the season. It was developed by Chris Saunders in the UK, 2012. He crossed a 7-pot Primo and a Yellow Fatale. And the first year, F1 Filia generation, there was no tails. It was kind of just like this. By F2, you're sort of getting tails. Since then, I have made some creations out of this, which will be featured on an upcoming Hulu show. A couple creations that will be revealed at that time. But yeah, they've always been bumpy tails on pretty much every one. Some tails get extremely thin and long, and they're one of the hottest out there, if not the hottest.
Excellent. Yeah, that was the thing. I went around and I asked a lot of different people in the pepper growing community about what would be the hottest pepper, because I've heard a lot of different conversations throughout the pepper community about what is really considered the hottest pepper. And I knew I wanted to win this competition, and everybody pointed to me hands down that the Primotalii was the hottest pepper they'd ever eaten. So what do you think about that? You think it's the hottest pepper out there?
I think it is, until I reveal my newer one. So,
well, we can't wait for that.
Yeah, and it's getting tested too at through Dr. Boslin and the Chili Institute, and that will happen around November, December, very shortly, and doing a whole propaganda with Hulu. So it's all been kind of secretive, but
excellent. Well, I can't wait
10 episodes.
All of that. That's going to be really awesome. So when we're talking about the Primotalii, then what level of the Scoville level would you say that this is running about?
And when you talk to SHU Scoville heat units, they always range. When you get laboratory tests done like Southwestern Labs, you're always going to get a range because there's always an inconsistency. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I tend to, oddly enough, I escape looking at numbers, because just think about the jalapeno. You can have ones hardly with any heat and massive heat. Like, man, that feels like a super hot, and it's all in the same plant. It depends upon the uptake of moisture and iron, and those are the key elements that really make that, and the season and the sun. But it's up there with the Reaper.
It's up there with the Reaper for sure. The competition, I did mention the 3 remaining contestants, they all did grow the Carolina Reaper. And like you said, there was definitely a range in the test results that they all got. One of them was in the upper 800,000, and then middle was, I think, just a little over 1 million. And then I think they had 1.2 for the top Carolina Reaper out there. But I'm pretty sure this Primotalii probably would have edged them out for sure. I'm still quite certain of that. But again, too, I wanted to ask you, though, too, one of the things about your peppers and your pepper company, which I'm going to put a link down in the description below for everybody to, if they want to be able to purchase one of these Primotalii peppers for themselves, you can go check out jppepperseeds.com and be able to get some of those seeds yourself. But one of the things you do is you ensure your pepper seeds by isolating them. Could you explain that just a little bit more for the audience?
Sure. Isolation, you could do it multiple different ways. Separate greenhouses, half mile, or mosquito netting. I use mosquito netting. So basically what it does, I put 4 bamboo and then just kind of drape it over it. I put sandwich clips to hold them down where I clip them onto the bamboo. 90% of the cross-pollinations for peppers actually happens with bees. So now a bee can't get underneath there and pollinate the flower and then go to the next one. So that stops it that way. Also, there was topics of discussion for the holes of the nets. Relatively, the same size or even slightly larger than 1 grain of pollen. Well, one thing we know about pollen is it's sticky. So if you have a hole going and a pollen, it has to go exactly through the hole without touching the sides, cross the hallway, I call it the hallway, through another hole and right onto the flower. The probability of that is probably 0.0005, you know. So it's basically stopping the bees, and pollen's sticky, so it always gets stuck.
Excellent. And so that really just is ensuring that you are making sure that your seeds are not crossing with any of other plants that you might have growing in your area, and ensuring that your seeds are going to be true to the plant that you're growing.
Absolutely.
Excellent. Excellent. That's great. I really encourage everybody to go and check out Jim's pepper seed shop. He's got a really great seed website there on the link that I put in the description. Lots of different varieties that you grow. I encourage everybody to go and check out all those different varieties there and purchase some seeds. You know, there are a lot of big companies out there who do a lot of things, and maybe there's some things that we can only really find them. But when I'm out trying to look for seeds and different things in my garden, if I can find them from a nice small company and somebody who's doing some really hard work to ensure that I'm getting quality seeds, that's where I want to go. And that's what I'm saying for everybody here is I encourage you to go check out Jim's shop. Thanks, Jim. Anything else you want to say before we head out?
No, that's about it. Well, one more thing is, of course, check out my YouTube channel, Jimmy Pickles Pepper channel. And I'm still going to upload 200 more types in the next couple months. I'm getting delayed because I'm doing the TV show. But other than that, everything's awesome.
So lots to look forward to then.
Absolutely.
Excellent. Thanks, man. I really appreciate you joining with us today. Again, go check out Jimmy's Pickles Pepper Shop, jppepperseeds.com. We'll catch you later, Jim. Thank you very much.
All right, thanks.
All right, everybody. Now it's time to get on to introducing you to my friend who's going to be joining with us here to eat the hottest pepper in the world. So real quick, set up this real quick little introduction here for you, and we'll be right back in a moment. We'll be eating the hottest pepper, or I won't be anyways. My friend is. So, all right, everyone, here we are out in the gardens right now, just a little bit here before the live stream you're watching, and just kind of harvesting some of the last peppers and tomatoes around the garden. I've got my buddy Mike who's come over to volunteer, happily, mind you, to eat one of the hottest peppers in the world, the Primotalii that we grew for the Johnny Appleseed Organics Invitational this year. Mike, thanks for joining us on the channel here to eat this pepper.
Oh, thanks for having me, man. I appreciate y'all. How's it going, Urban Gardeners?
Excellent, Mike. So how you feeling about this challenge today?
I'm a little nervous, but I think it's gonna be fun. I'm sure you guys are gonna have a lot more fun than I do. That's okay. That's why I'm here. We'll see how hot this pepper really is.
I'm sure it's gonna be really a scorcher for sure. No pun intended, really.
No pun intended.
Absolutely intended. But anyways, thanks again, Mike, for joining with us here. I was talking with Mike and a few friends at the beginning of the season as I was starting to grow the peppers that were growing around the garden, and was mentioning this hottest pepper Primotalii variety to them and about how hot it was. And Mike literally just threw himself out there to volunteer to eat this pepper all the way back then. So here we are, peppers are ready. Let's go over and pick one of these peppers off one of the plants. So here we are in our back patio now, taking a look at our Primotalii pepper plants that we're going to be picking the pepper that Mike's going to eat with us here in just a few moments on this live stream. So what do you think here? This pepper looks pretty gnarly, don't it?
Looks pretty gnarly, man. To be honest, guys, it looks like death to me. That could just be because I'm eating it.
All right, Mike, how about you go ahead, cut that pepper off. Show that to everybody there.
Yeah, get a good look at that, guys.
There's a pretty gnarly looking pepper there. So let's go back to our live stream and get down to eating this. What do you think?
Let's do it.
Well, I'm not going to do it.
All right, I'll do it.
So, all right, here we are again, and I just did it again. I've got to get used to this microphone for sure. Oh, you got to push the buttons. You got to push the right buttons when it comes to live streaming. So we just cut into the Primotalii here, and we're smelling it. And as you can tell, it's really, really something else. What are you thinking, man?
You know, like how all the moments in your life led up to this point. I don't think I made the right choices in life, but that's okay because we're going to have some fun here.
Now, mind you, like I said in the little introduction video there too, is that when I first started growing the peppers out this season, I was selecting different varieties. And I was trying to select, as I was talking with Jim just a minute ago, select the right variety I wanted to grow for the hottest pepper in the world. While I was hanging out with some friends, with Mike here too, we were talking about that. And Mike actually volunteered himself. Didn't you just volunteer yourself to do that?
I did. I did.
And I thought, you know, I've never been crazy enough to do this. We've been doing this channel for years now, and I've grown tons and tons of different super hot peppers throughout the years, but I've never, and like I said, I make no qualms about the fact that I don't have the guts to get down and eat one of these. I love growing the peppers. I love growing all sorts of different types of peppers, and just because of the varieties you can get, you know, the different types of pods are cool, the shapes, the sizes, all that sort of stuff. But when it comes to heat level, if it is anything really, really above a jalapeno, I'm kind of stepping out of the picture, you know, maybe serranos a little bit. I have gotten up and eaten about as hot as I've done before is a habanero. I've eaten a habanero before. This was years ago on a challenge, and I don't think I'd ever really want to take that challenge again. So I really, 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 you know, I can feel where you're sitting right now when it
Can't
comes to
stop
the
looking
idea.
at it, to be honest.
So, all right. So without further ado, I think that we probably should just get down to it here, jump right into how does this taste. Now, first off, I do have some things right down below here for you. We've got some milk. I don't know. Do we got the ice cream out anywhere here for you too? We'll get that out just in case if we need it for you here as well too. But they do say that if you use like cream and milk and that sort of stuff, it does kind of help a little bit. I mean, just a little bit with the heat and all of that. And I'm going to try to be here with you and all that sort of stuff. And one of the things I did kind of prepare for us though too, and this is something that everybody else in the audience can kind of participate with as well too, is that we're going to kind of go through and I'm going to ask Mike and you all in general some different questions that I've kind of gathered together about peppers and different things like that. And then we'll kind of do that while we're watching Mike here reel in real scorcher of a hot pepper. So let's see here. You ready to go, Mike?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right.
All right, guys. Primotalii.
Oh, you went all the way stem in. Oh, you forgot the tip too. Might as well, right? No? Okay, there we go. Right off the bat, there we go.
Oh.
It's not going to take very long for this here. So you ready for our pepper quiz?
Yeah, let's do it. Oh.
All right. So our first question is, where were chili peppers first cultivated?
I don't know and I don't care.
Does anybody know where chili peppers were first cultivated? I'll give everybody a moment here as we give. Wow. Whoa. I can smell that. Whoa.
Oh.
Okay. All right. How you feeling?
Yeah, dude.
He's barely talk. He can barely talk. Oh my gosh, this poor guy. All right. So the answer to where chili peppers were first tears.
Yeah, I'm tearing up.
Tears have happened. We've got tears in the house. Oh my gosh. Oh gosh, he's already going for the milk. We might need to get the ice cream ready. All right. So peppers were first cultivated in Mexico. In fact, chili peppers are believed to have originated somewhere in South and Central America, but were first cultivated in Mexico. After the Columbian exchange, many cultivars of chili pepper spread around the world, used for both food and traditional medicine. This led to a wide variety of cultivars. And origins of cultivating chili peppers are traced to East Central Mexico some 6,000 years ago. Wow, that's something else.
It's painful, people.
You hurting?
Yeah.
Painful. So let's talk about the pain. Let's describe that a little bit. Where are you feeling it the most?
The back of the throat.
Because that's right where it hit the first, right?
Ooh.
How about your fingertips?
Everything.
Everything, toes.
The whole body.
You feel like an inferno?
Ooh.
All right, here we go. We've got ice cream in the picture. Yes, that might help a little bit. Nice and cool.
Mm.
All right. Next question. Chili peppers are members of the nightshade family. True or false?
Oh. Jeez.
True or false?
True.
All right. Yeah, that's a pretty easy one right there. Nightshades are chili peppers are members of the nightshades or the Solanaceae family, and the Solanaceae or nightshades are a family of flowering plants that range from annual and perennial herbs to vines. What is that? Lianas, epiphytes, shrubs, and trees, and includes a number of agricultural crops, medicinal plants, spices, weeds, and ornamentals. Many members of the family contain potent alkaloids, and some are highly toxic, but many, including tomatoes, potatoes, eggplant, bell, and chili peppers, are used as food. Woo! All right, dude. All right.
Oh, it's the back of the throat, man.
Still killing.
Dude, it's painful, people.
Now, from what I understand, this is probably a good 15 to 20-minute ride before it should be climbing. You should be feeling the heat increasing still, probably, right?
I can feel it in my toes. My toes are hot.
Oh my gosh. All right, so here, this is just a straight up question. What is the compound that gives chili peppers their heat? What is the compound that gives chili peppers their heat? Again, we gotta get the right one up there. All right. This one, I'm sure for everybody out there, we got some answers to the question. compound that gives the chili peppers their heat is called capsaicin. Capsaicin is what gives chili peppers their heat, and it's a chemical irritant for mammals, including humans, of course. It produces a sensation of burning in any tissue with which it comes into contact. Hence, right in the back of the throat right away, right there, right? It came in contact right away with that there. Capsaicin and several related alkaloids are called capsaicinoids and are produced as secondary metabolites by chili peppers, probably as deterrents against certain mammals and fungi. Pure capsaicin is hydrophobic, colorless, and highly pungent, crystalline, and it's like a waxy little compound. And that's one of the reasons why water is not helpful when it comes to eating a super hot pepper. How are we feeling, man?
We're getting through it. We're able to talk now. I think I can speak a little bit.
Burning like that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, man. You are a champ. Unbelievable. I'm surprised actually that he's able to sit and stay in this chair. The one thing I was expecting was maybe some getting up, walking around, some pacing.
I wasn't gonna stay. I was just gonna eat and get up for the people at home.
All right, so we got multiple choice on our next question here. Multiple choice. In 2020, the world produced how many tons of raw green chilies? Was it A, 24 million, B, 38 million, or was it C, 53 million tons of raw chilies?
C.
C. Okay, anybody else got a guess out there? I'm gonna give a moment here. Is it A, B, or C? 24, 36, or 53 million tons? Well, it wasn't C. The answer was actually B. 38 million tons of raw chilies. Okay, so and let's see here. Next question. So how are you feeling here?
We're okay. We're getting there.
Seems like it's kind of like up and down right now, huh?
We're getting there. If it wasn't for the ice cream, I don't think I'd be sitting here.
You doing good? You need more?
Ice cream helps. No, we're good.
Okay. All right. Everybody's seen the question. How many domesticated species of chili peppers are there? Is it A, 5? Is it B, 7? Or is it C, 12? Are there 5, 7, or 12 different domesticated species of chili peppers? I know you've...
That's why there.
I'm surprised you're able to even think about these questions at all.
C.
C. You went with the big number 12. 12. All right. Let's see here. The answer for how many domesticated species of chili peppers are there? There are 5. That was A. 5.
5
domesticated species of chili peppers. Peppers are commonly broken down into 3 groupings, usually bell peppers, sweet peppers, and hot peppers. Most popular pepper varieties are falling into one of these categories or a cross between them. However, there are 5 domesticated species of chili peppers. It's Capsicum annuum, includes many common varieties such as bell peppers, wax, cayenne, and jalapenos. And there's also Capsicum frutescens, which includes Magueyata and Tabasco and Piri Piri. There's also Capsicum chinense, which are the hottest peppers, which would be one of the crosses that we just ate in the Primotalii, including also nagas, habaneros, and totillas. We also got Capsicum pubescens, which includes South American ricotto peppers, and then also Capsicum baccatum, which includes South American ají peppers. So 5 different domesticated species of peppers out there. And you've got the Chinese versions of the hottest peppers out there. Dude.
I want to speak, but it comes in waves. So I'll be like, all right, I'm good. And then boom, it'll just hit you again, man, like a ton of bricks.
Like a ton of bricks. I'm sure you don't see much of the sweat or tears anymore, though. Huh?
Yeah, it's a little bit. I think the ice cream saved me. If you guys ever need any tips, ice cream's good. Water's bad.
Water's bad. Again, yeah, water. I've never seen anybody have a good outcome when they're trying in any of like the pepper video reviews that I've watched before. So, in fact, did you check out any pepper reviews before we got together? Kind of give yourself a hint of what's going to happen.
I watched. Ooh,
hiccups.
I watched one video of these guys eating Primotalii peppers, and they held it together longer than I did. They didn't have any ice cream. They were crying and sweating and burping and choking. So hats off to whoever those guys were. I forgot your name, but yeah, you know, said it comes in waves. It's hot.
Hot.
Like the devil's fart hot.
Oh gosh. Oh my. I can't even imagine. Oh. All right. Next, let's see. We got another question here. In fact, actually, real quick, for the question, let's take a real quick break here for just a quick second.
I hope you are enjoying the live stream, gardeners. Now, as Halloween season is upon us, we here at the Urban Gardener are planning our 2nd annual Halloween movie night live stream, featuring the 1960 original Little Shop of Horrors. So come join us for a fun evening of live chat on a classic movie while we hand out some treats to the neighborhood kids. We'll see you Monday, October 31st at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
All right. So there we are. Just wanted to run that little promo there. Again, I want to encourage you all to come join with us. I want to set up another little live stream, fun evening for us here on Halloween night and watch the original Little Shop of Horrors. I really love that original movie. I like the actual movie. You ever watched the Little Shop of Horrors?
I have.
Oh man, I love that movie. So great. I really like the original. We can't play the original here, but public domain allows us to be able to watch the original, which is a really funny movie, and it's a great time for all of us. We'll have some live chat before the movie, during the movie, and we'll get together a little bit after the movie and have a really fun evening. So it's a good time for all of you to come join with us. So I hope to see all of you there too as well. So again, let's see. Let's finish up here. We got a couple of more questions. We'll go over here.
Let's do it.
So you doing all right though?
Yeah, we're doing okay. I think we're on the down slide now that we made it through the pain.
The pain.
Yeah.
What would you rank the pain?
Oh man, to a habanero, that's the only thing I've eaten. It's like a 3 to a 10.
A 3 to a 10.
Yeah, it's really.
So the
painful.
habanero was a 3, and you jumped right to a 10.
It was painful. Like it hurt really, really bad.
Oh,
I wish I had some better vocabulary to describe it, but it's hard to think right now.
All right. So our next question has to do with the intensity of chili peppers is measured using A, cap units, B, HTS, heat tolerance scale, or is it C, the Scoville heat units, or SHU?
Scoville.
I bet you've heard that one before, right?
I have.
I know, I'm throwing easy softballs out there.
So I
but
need an easy one. An easy one just to get my confidence back up.
Yes, the intensity of chili peppers is measured in Scoville heat units. In fact, let's see here. The intensity of heat of chili peppers is commonly reported in Scoville heat units, invented by American pharmacist Wilbur Scoville in 1912. Historically, it was a measure of the dilution of an amount of chili extract added to sugar syrup before its heat becomes undetectable to a panel of tasters. The more it has been diluted to be undetectable, the more powerful the variety, and therefore the higher the rating. The modern method is a quantitative analysis of SHU using high-performance liquid chromatography to directly measure the capsaicinoid content of a chili pepper variety. Pure capsaicin is hydrophobic, like we talked about, colorless, odorless, crystalline wax, and it measures around 16 million SHU. And that's just pure extracted capsaicin. Now, as we talked about a little bit earlier with Jim there, who developed the seeds for this Primotalii, this one here would probably, which he doesn't know for sure, and we don't know really, unless I've gotten this tested in the contest, which I'm sure it's up above 1.2 million for sure. So I know that this was at least up above 1.2 million in Scoville heat units. Could be anywhere close to 2 or so. And then who knows with what they're going to be able to make as far as chili peppers that are being crossed and developed right now. As Jim talked about, he's got something coming up too that's probably going to be even hotter than this Primotalii. So after eating this Primotalii, and to know that there might even possibly be an even hotter pepper, Mike, what are you thinking? You want to try that one too?
I mean, I'd do it.
Even out
Now that the pain's over, I'm like, all right, we made it through it. It was hot. Yeah, I wish I could tell you guys that it had a really good flavor, but it was just scorching, man. I don't really know much about the flavor other than hot.
right
It's still coming in waves, so it'll be like okay for a minute, and then it kicks right back in, kicks you right in the back of the throat. You can feel it in your stomach. My ears are hot.
Oh my. It's unbelievable. So, again, like I said, I just don't have the guts to be able to do that. When I ate a habanero years ago, I knew that was just too much. And knowing that there were hotter peppers than that, I just knew that it was something that I wasn't going to be able to do that. And I think that's common throughout the chat box too right now, as far as everybody else too, is that I don't think there's anybody else here who's willing to step up to the plate like you, Mike, and get on here and do that. So, in fact, we got Nancy here. She said just a little bit ago, I feel for him. That's how I was with that Chinese 5-color, and this one is hotter. Oh, yeah, the Chinese 5-color, those are a really hot pepper too right there. And I don't know, I might try one of those, but still, this pepper, I just don't even think about it. She says you should have just taken a tiny bite. The poor guy. And then we got Ghetto was saying, "Oh no, he ate the whole thing, didn't he?" Woo! Oh, well, almost the whole thing.
Yeah, we didn't eat the whole thing. We still have the tip left, so I don't want to take credit for something I didn't do.
Yeah.
There's a part of me that wants to eat this, but my brain's kicking in. It's starting to work. It's telling me to put it down. I've done enough for the day.
I would certainly say you have, for sure. Okay, we got a true or false question for everybody. This one's a pretty easy one. These are mostly easy questions here. True or false? Peppers are technically a vegetable.
True.
Oh.
I was just guessing anyway.
First of all, real quick, mind you, Mike, you're a good friend of mine here, but I think, for one, you're not really a gardener, are you? Though?
No, I'm not a gardener. I'm here learning about some Scovilles, learning about peppers. Enoch is the master at the gardening.
We did, as you saw in that video clip earlier, as Mike showed up too, we did kind of do a tour around and showed Mike all the different gardens that we've got here in the urban garden, alleyway gardens or patio gardens, all of that. And if all of you, or any of you, in fact, haven't seen our urban gardens, check them out in our summer garden tour. I'm not sure if I put a link down in the description yet, but I will get a link down in the description for everybody to go check out. It's a 2-part summer garden tour, and you can see everything that we've got growing around the gardens, including a lot of the different pepper varieties that we've got growing here as well too. But to answer the question for you, peppers are not a vegetable. A lot of things we grow in the garden aren't vegetables like we think of, and I'm sure you've heard about tomatoes, right?
heard about the tomatoes.
Everybody talks about tomatoes when we're talking about fruits as opposed to vegetables, because a lot of people think tomatoes are a vegetable, peppers are a vegetable, those sort of things. But no, they're actually a berry or a fruit in a sense, a flower that produces the fruit. And so yeah, chili pepper pods are technically berries. And when used fresh, they are most often prepared and eaten like a vegetable. Whole pods can be dried and then crushed or ground into chili powder that is used as a spice or seasoning. Chilies can be dried to prolong their shelf life, sort of like poblanos, and I believe they're like onos, or there's a whole different ones. A pepper will have a certain name when it's fresh, and then when they dry it out, it'll also have a different name as well too. But let's see, they can also be preserved by brining, pickling, and fresh or dried chilies are often used to make hot sauce.
Ooh.
Yeah, hot sauce is a real popular thing out there, and they got some really, really scorching hot varieties of hot sauce out there too. But yeah, peppers are a fruit.
These are a berry?
Basically a berry, yeah. So you're eating your fruits.
Yeah.
Are you having some berries?
Yeah, man. Fruit salad. Dressing with some Primotalii in it.
All right, next question we got here is Hatch chili are from what U.S. state? A, California, B, New Mexico, or C, Texas? Now, one of the things I'll say, though, is that Hatch chili are kind of like, you heard of, champagne, right? Champagne is basically a sparkling white wine of sorts.
Okay.
And it's only called champagne if you're in the Champagne region of France. So only those sparkling wines that come from France and shipped out to the world are called champagnes, and anything else is a sparkling wine. Now, the similar thing is with Hatch chilies, which are a popular roasting chili for people who like to roast chilies. Hatch chili are from a region in one of our U.S. states. You have a guess which one? Is it A, California, B, New Mexico, or C, Texas?
I'm going to go with B. We're going to go with B.
B, New Mexico. Anybody else got a guess out there? Is it A, California, B, New Mexico, or C, Texas? All right, so the answer to that, Mike, is you're absolutely correct.
Hey.
Hatch chili are from Hatch, New Mexico. And like I said, with the Champagne in France, Hatch chilies are from Hatch, New Mexico. And so all of those New Mexico chilies that come from that region are called Hatch chilies, but you could grow those same pepper varieties out of your garden here in Oregon or somewhere in California or Texas or any of those other places, but they wouldn't be considered Hatch chilies because they weren't grown and produced and came from Hatch, New Mexico.
Just so you guys know, that was a 100% guess.
Excellent. Perfect. So how are we feeling still?
We're getting there. The small waves, lips are still burning, throat's
Still
good.
pretty heavy. So, okay, since it started, it was at a 10, maybe even above.
Yeah.
Has it come down any lower? Let's give it a number.
2. We're at a 2 right now.
Oh, so you dropped all the way to a 2.
I think it was the ice cream and the milk. Little waves, maybe a 4 and a 5. Lips are pretty burning, but
You still got the lip burn big time.
Lips are burning.
How's the back of the throat still?
Back of the throat's good. We're back. We're back alive. We can speak. I can hear what you're saying.
Does it feel raw?
No,
Like, is there like any residual feeling at all? Maybe not burning, but like you can tell you ate a pepper.
I mean, I can tell I ate a pepper right now, but we're pretty good.
How about the guts?
Gut,
your stomach.
Guts a little. We're a little full of milk and ice cream and hot peppers, but we'll be all right.
Excellent. All right, excellent. And again, I want to thank all of you all for joining with us here for this great, fun, interesting live stream that Mike's volunteered to join with us to try our Primotalii pepper that we grew here this year for originally what was grown for the competition we got involved with, the Johnny Appleseed Organics Gardening Invitational, which I do want to send out a congratulations to Janelle. Janelle was the final winner of the Johnny Appleseed Organic. She won the $50,000 gardening prize, and really, truly, truly am really proud of her and everybody else who was involved with that competition. All the contestants were really awesome. I was so lucky to be able to be involved with this competition with all of you. And Janelle, you really outgrew the remaining 3 contestants in that competition and really deserved of that prize. But with all that said, I'm sure we had the hottest pepper involved there. I mentioned earlier with Jim, the hottest pepper with the remaining contestants ranged from, I think, upper 800,000 Scoville to about 1.2. And I know we had it there. And I believe the winner of the giant squash competition, or the heaviest squash category, that winner came in around 79 pounds. Now, everybody who watches our channel knows that we grew a 137-pound Atlantic dill pumpkin last year right out of our alleyway garden.
137 pounds.
137 pounds. We didn't ultimately, and I didn't want to ultimately try to, other than finishing up with the peppers, because that was there, and then asking you to join and checking it out and doing this here. But I didn't really finish up with the remaining competition things that we were growing, I just wanted to kind of leave it as is, but I just know in the heart of hearts we would have grown the biggest squash, the biggest tomato, and this pepper. I know would have won this competition in the long run.
For the pepper.
But all in all, really just thankful to have been a part of it with all of the other contestants and all of you contestants who did compete. Congratulations to Janelle for winning that competition. Okay, so our next competition here, or our question actually is a true or false. It's our last one, and this one kind of is talking a little bit, I think a little bit about the mentality of where it takes to get to the place where you are to jump in here and eat one of the hottest peppers there are. So let's see here. We've got, so eating hot chili peppers is an example of constrained risk. True or false? Constrained risk. Now you kind of have to know a little bit about what constrained risk is to really maybe understand that answer. But a guess for anybody out there, true or false? Is eating a super hot pepper like the Primotalii pepper that Mike ate with us here today, is that an example of constrained risk?
I'm going to go with true.
All you out there too, what do you think? And again, thank you all so much for joining with us here for the live stream. It's been really fun here to get together with Mike here and watch him reel in some real pain and agony, but really be a super trooper when it comes to doing this, sitting here the whole time, and going through what amounts to true.
Yeah.
It is true.
I would hope so.
Eating hot peppers is an example of constrained risk. Psychologist Paul Rosen suggests that eating chilies is an example of constrained risk, like riding a roller coaster in which extreme sensations like pain and fear can be enjoyed because individuals know that these sensations are not actually harmful. This method lets people experience extreme feelings without any significant risk of bodily harm.
Yeah.
Right on, dude.
Hell yeah.
What a great extreme example of constrained risk right here on our live stream here today with Mike joining us here eating the Primotalii. And I'm sure right now you're probably really riding that down with that pepper, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, we're back to normal. The lips aren't burning anymore. Ears are going back. We're not sweating. Nose is a little runny.
Still runny.
Yeah, we got a runny nose. A little bit of the back and forth. I'm sure if I burp right now, it wouldn't be too much fun.
Whatever you don't want is for it to come back up, and it's always the biggest worry,
Talk about some fear.
That's what I was asking earlier. I was like, how's the stomach? Is it turning? Is it twisting? If you're able to hold this down, so that would be probably the worst case scenario ultimately in this, is having it burn the second time around. Or again, there is always that worry when it comes to tomorrow. We don't want to think about that now, though. We really don't want to think about that now. But yeah, awesome, everybody. Thank you all so much here for coming in and joining with us here. Let's see what we got. Ghetto is saying that adrenaline rush, right? Exactly. Complete adrenaline rush. I can't imagine. Your heart rate, I bet, was just...
my heart rate was pumping before I came on. I just had to get into it.
Yeah.
The more I thought about it, the worse it got. I actually felt my heart. You could feel it beating.
Before you ate it.
Before I ate it.
So it was the anticipation was just...
And then once you eat it, you can't think about anything. I could hear sound, but I couldn't hear the words. Like, none of it made any sense. It was just noise.
When I was first asking the first questions and all that.
No idea what you were talking about.
Just complete, isolated,
Pain.
focus.
Yeah.
Hold on to yourself.
Yeah.
Which is really great. You know, it's sort of like what they were talking about there in this last question about constrained risk, you know, and you know, being like a roller coaster, or the fact that you're doing something, you know, because it's not going to actually harm you.
Yep.
Even though you're going to get a good high level of pain there, it's not going to kill you.
Yep.
You're not going to go, you know, it's not going to lay you out. You're not going to need to call the ambulance. I don't know. I mean, maybe some people, I would imagine, it might be a risk for some people with some heart conditions or something like that. I'm not too sure. But one of the things I do know, and a lot of things I've heard a lot from a lot of people who grow chili peppers, is that they're really good for you. Chili and the hot peppers. And I'm not too sure or can't necessarily explain anything about that. But if you do know a lot about chili peppers or know enough about chili peppers to explain why that they're good for you or healthy for you in a sense, hot peppers, get down in the comments section below and let us know what we all think about that for sure. But yeah. Nancy says, thanks, Mike. You are a pepper hero. Yes, indeed. Definitely more so than me, because I'm a pepper wimp.
Yeah,
I don't literally.
You grew the pepper.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, there's talent in growing something, I suppose. But
you need me, I need you. That's how this whole thing happens.
But you know, I'm telling you, the only way I'm going to actually try one of those peppers is if it was really truly diluted and mixed into something. I might try like a nice hot sauce or something like that kicks it down several notches.
What about a Primotalii chili? Would you eat that?
Primotalii, like an
actual chili, like a soup.
Like a soup with the chili pepper, like put it in. Yeah, if it was like here's something. I'll tell you one of the things I know about one of the names of a variety of super hot chilies out there. It's called 7-Pot. You know, there's different crosses of 7-Pot chilies, but they're called 7-Pot chilies because they got their name from the fact that one chili could be mixed into 7 pots of chili. So you mentioned chili, so I thought it was great to mention 7 different pots for one pepper pot. So maybe if you were able to make one pepper pot and kind of break it down to where it's a good heat, decent flavor, but not too much, it is that probably takes 7 pots. So I might eat
one of these for 7 pots of chili.
One of those for 7 pots. I don't know how big the pots they're talking about though. Not too sure. Chris down in Mexico, he commented just a little bit ago. He says, Mike, you took it like a champ. Really? Now, Chris did one of the first pepper taste tests for us here on the Urban Gardener in my first year of this channel. Chris used to live up in Eugene, Oregon, just north of us up here. And when I'd go up north to visit some people up in Portland and all that, I'd stop in Eugene and visit with Chris. And on one of my trips up there to visit with him, I brought a bag of some of my different varieties of chili peppers that I had. And one of them was a Sugar Rush Peach pepper. Well, Sugar Rush Peach is, I believe, an ahi variety of pepper. And just a really popular variety for its flavor and its taste and all of that. Again, a pretty good warm heat, hot heat, thinking near habanero I'm thinking habanero. Chris could let us know more so on that. And if I can too, for anybody who's watching the replay or anything too, I'll try to remember also to maybe find a link to that video too, and I'll put that down in the description below as well too. But Chris got on his YouTube and made a video taste test of our Sugar Rush Peach Pepper Pods too for us as well. So it's great to have Chris here too, as he was one of the very first to try our peppers here too. Oh, and he says it was not too hot, but he loved the color. Yeah. And that one too, in particular, I really like too, because one of the things I was trying to do over the couple of seasons, which I'm still working on with the Sugar Rush Peach, is the way that the tails.
Oh, okay.
You know, that I like the way that one that I gave him had this really cool puckered tail to it, whereas the Sugar Rush is kind of like a long ahi type of pepper. This tail kind of puckered in a little bit. So I wanted to try to see if I couldn't kind of, you know, get a plant that would produce a majority of those varieties of pods versus the straighter pods. I think I kind of got it a little bit. I'm going to try a little bit more this next year. Hopefully we'll have some seeds for those coming up too. That's something I've been working on. So, Pacific Permaculture said just a little bit ago too, it's no real risk for Mike. He can handle it. He's tough as nails. I'll tell you, man, for sure. You're pretty darn tough, dude. You're able to sit right in that seat and sit there that whole time. You know,
It's still hot.
It's still hot.
It comes. It's like I think it's going away. Maybe that's just wishful thinking. Then it comes right back in. A little scorch around the lips.
Yeah, you'll probably be wearing that for a good while at least. But the heat level. So you have tried. What's the hottest pepper you've tried before this?
Habanero.
So you do have experience with some habanero peppers?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've eaten habanero before.
So, and again, you did mention though, again, so that was the hottest thing you've eaten before, measured at a 3, a habanero.
Yeah.
If that's measured at a 3, this was definitely above a 10, right?
Yeah. Like as soon as you bite into it, it is the most painful thing that I've ever experienced in my mouth. It was just pain. It wasn't even hot at first. It just hurt really bad. And then it got hot.
That's awesome, man. Excellent. Yeah. So, yeah, that's really great. You know, too. I was like, look how gnarly those little tail is on those things too, man. That's the one thing you could definitely tell about like a really super hot pepper is these really cool tails that they got on them, man. And I think that's one thing, you know, it really gives you like that.
It's the bumps that get me, man. Look at all the little bumps that are around it. They just look so mean and angry.
They look mean and angry,
angry,
right? Like the tail's gonna like poke you
Yeah.
or grab you or hook you or something, right?
It looks like an angry fruit. I now know.
Well, that is awesome, man. That is so great. Really, really great of you to do that, man, and to eat that pepper with all of us. Really awesome of all of you to come and join with us here on this live stream and put up with this here, especially all of you who are watching on the replay. We did have a couple of technical issues. My own personal technical issues. Again, I got to get a little bit more used to using the software here. It allows you to mute in and mute out certain things. And we got kind of started there with the mute button on a couple of those things. But hopefully that's not too bad. And hopefully for all of you who've watched the lives or the replay, you enjoyed the pepper eating here with Mike and the pepper review. And all of you here live, thank you so much for joining with us and spending some time with us today. And with all of that, and we're going to go ahead and end this live stream and let Mike go here. Right on, man. Thanks again.
Thanks
really
for having me,
appreciate it. Thank you all. We'll see you all later. And also join us on Halloween coming up here in a couple of weeks for another live stream event where we're watching the original Little Shop of Horrors. We'll see you all then. Thank you.